Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the railway service in Jamaica. Now Jamaica has one of the oldest railway services in Jamaica. It was one of the first countries in the Western Hemisphere to have such a large railway service. So these trains used to run right across the island. However, about 30 years ago, the rail service stopped. There were no more passenger trains running, and the government announced recently that they're going to be bringing back the rail service, which I think is great. Jamaica needs train service to run properly, especially with like tourism. And that's what the government is saying. And you know, anything that benefits tourism gets a priority. Like the roads on the north coast are some of the nicest you will ever find in Jamaica. And that has to do a lot with the tourism, the hotels, those kind of things on the north coast. So if they see a benefit to tourism to have a train service, then I think that would fast track it and it would be done a lot quicker. So basically what the government is trying to do is they're saying a train service will help with tourism in the country. Now I agree, it can also help people move from around the major cities, and it would also help with the moving of cargo. So let's say you have a factory in Bagua, you manufacture some goods and you want to export them. To put them on a train and get it to the port is the perfect way to do it. If you want to sell the goods in Kingston, Montego Bay, put it on a train. It's there in no time. And it will be so much cheaper because the price of gas in Jamaica today, it's ridiculous. It's the highest it has ever been in the history of the island. And guess what? It goes up every week, every Thursday. Like clockwork. The gas price goes up for the last couple of weeks. And I'm speaking more of the ultra low sulfur diesel because that's the one that we use, and I can say for a fact that it goes up about $4.50 every Thursday for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So to transport cargo on a train would be much cheaper than having to transport it via trailer or on the road. So it would definitely help. Now, I'm not sure why the rail service stopped 30 years ago. I can only but assume it had something to do with economics, like money. It wasn't feasible. I think the government operated it, so I'm not sure why it stopped. I'm just assuming it's money. And the trains were probably old, but the government has, but when I say stop, the passenger carrying passengers on the train line stopped. But the Boxside company still use trains because you can see them. We actually have videos up on this channel about where you can actually see the trains running across the road. So but those were Boxside trains, and they maintain the train lines, Boxside companies. So recently now the government has started a pilot program for students to use the trains to get from, I think it's Linstead to Spanish Town. I'm not sure if the program includes going to Kingston, but Kingston is a place you don't see trains. So I don't know what happened to the tracks there, but I've seen trains going through Old Harbour, and I think that's the only place I've seen trains. No, yes, the Old Harbour side of the island. I can't remember seeing a train anywhere else. But that's not to say they don't run anywhere else. But they've started a pilot program for students to use the train to get. I know Linstead is one of the places, and we just passed Linstead, so that's why I remembered. And another thing they're looking at is to get, for instance, when tourists come in to say Ocho Rios or on the cruise ship basically, and they want to take a tour, there was a train. I don't know if it still runs, but you could take a tour to the Appleton Sugar Estate in St. Elizabeth via the train. I don't know if it still runs, but that would, when I say it would help tourism, that kind of thing would help. So instead of putting 30 people in a bus and driving for God he knows how long on the road to get to Appleton's estate in St. Elizabeth, and when you're on the north coast you have very good roads, but when you get to like St. Elizabeth you're going to get onto some really terrible roads. So basically, and it would take so long. So instead of putting 30 people on a bus to get to the Appleton tour, you could put 500 people or 300 people on a train and transport them in luxury and style to the Appleton estate. They take the tour, they get back on a train and head back to, say, Montego Bay or Ocho Rios and get back on the ship. And that's where tourism comes in. That's how they say it will benefit tourism. Now you have these mineral baths all over Jamaica, and the bath one in St. Thomas is probably one of the best in the world. It could definitely be more of a tourist attraction than it is now. You could put people on a train and get there in no time. So that's how it, and you can carry a lot more people. And the trains, if they set it up right, we have luxury cars where you could literally travel in comfort and see a part of Jamaica you've never seen before. Even locals. I mean, I don't know how many people in Jamaica have driven to the Appleton estate, basically in St. Elizabeth, but it would help a great deal. And then when you want to get from Kingston to Montego Bay, if you can do it by train, that would make such a difference. Obviously there's going to be a cost associated, but if you can sit down on the train and you can probably read a book, do schoolwork if you're a student, or do work while you're on a train and you're traveling in luxury, it makes sense. People would definitely do that rather than get on a bus or a plane or drive. So I think this train service is an excellent idea, and I wish the government all the best in getting this service up and running again. And the Minister of Transport, not sure what his official title is, he just announced that they're going to get this thing. He's the one who announced that they're trying to set back up the railway service. And it was also announced that they have a pilot program for students to get to school on the train, which is an excellent idea. So it would definitely help Jamaica to move forward, because you definitely, when you're talking about moving goods in a large quantity, nothing that exists in Jamaica today could move as the quantity of goods that a train can. And the train lines are there already. The train service was up and running. Now mark it, maybe the lines have deteriorated from non-use, or the people steal the track to go and sell in the scrap metal industry. But the physical land, the route that the tracks would take, they're there. So the government doesn't have to go, and unless they're laying a new track, a new route, and say, guess what, we're going to need to put some train tracks through your land, and then you have to go to court, and then all sorts of things. You shouldn't have to do that. You could literally just use the existing land that the railway corporation already owns. And I can't imagine them having to lay new tracks, because the tracks from Kingston to Mandeville they already exist. It's just to set them back up. It won't be cheap, and I really hope that they don't take these old trains and try to bring them back. If you're going to bring back the railway service, use modern trains that have luxury cars, so people can travel in style and comfort, and definitely speed. It doesn't mean some countries have these. Let's not go there. I don't think Jamaica would have these lightning fast trains. For one, that's probably a completely different system in terms of tracks and those things. But use some modern trains. Don't use no old trains. Please, people. Set it up properly. If you have to get foreign investment. Like, you have these companies that come in and build these highways, and then they charge a toll and make back their money. Many options, but I think it's an excellent idea to set back up this train service, and Jamaica will benefit greatly. So we wish the government all the best, and we will definitely keep you updated on the progress. Alright guys, what do you think about setting back up the train service in Jamaica? Let us know. You can leave a message in the comment section below. Alright, have a good day.